Welcome to Kidsphere, presented by TD Bank, the virtual experience. And this Kidsphere demo is sponsored by Spinx. My name is Grant. I am an artist, maker, and director of ReCraft Creative Reuse Center. We connect and inspire creative people like you with reusable materials. And today, we're going on a craft hunt. We're going to find the materials. I'm going to reveal what you can make. We're going to go over a few basic steps. And then I'm going to share some of my tips and tricks for making a really cool craft at home today. And finally, tell you a little bit about how you can share what you've made with Kidsphere and ReCraft. Parents, this is a craft for all makers and creative people at all levels. You are welcome to make your own craft today, but this is a do-it-yourself effort. So that means that you, really the only help that's required is to pick out some of the approved materials, maybe some cutting toward the end of that with the little ones. Otherwise, please, hands off, find your own craft, okay? All right, first things first, we're going to find your materials at home. I've assembled them here, give you some good examples. The first thing we're gonna need is a big, crusty white t-shirt, all right? You're looking for something stained, you're looking for something with a hole in it, that is totally fine. Bigger shirts are probably better, but really any size will do. So maybe one of your parents' old shirts for mowing the grass. Likewise, you're gonna want a second big, crunchy, colorful t-shirt, about the same size as the first one. They don't have to be the exact same size, but something in color. Hey, check this out. Fall for Greenville, another one of the things I love about this town. Okay, so you've got your white shirt and your colored shirt. You're gonna wanna find those. The next thing you're gonna wanna find is two funny flat shapes. I'm gonna give you a few examples around my house, okay? This is like this wooden robot, fairly flat. Roll of tape, fairly flat. Some crazy cool sunglasses. I got a baby monitor here. Even round is funny, okay? So like some caps and things, they don't have to be really big. You want them fairly small, something that will fit in the palm of your hand, okay? All right, so you're gonna find two of these. The next thing you're gonna find is a really unfunny shape. What you're really looking for here is something with about a 6-inch straight edge on it. So this is an old CD cover here. This is something I grabbed out of my recycle bin, a to-go container. A small book is ideal. The main thing is it should have a nice straight edge on it, maybe a straight corner here as well. So 5 or 6 inches long is about what you're looking for. All right, definitely a ruler might fit as well. You'll want a dark marker. I definitely love my Sharpies. You could find something else, I'm sure that would work. Even a colored pencil would be okay. But if you have a nice dark Sharpie, that's probably what you want. We will do some cutting. This step comes toward the end of the craft again. So if you need help, that'd be the time to call for mom. These are some big fabric scissors. These are more for like middle school. You do want something that's fairly sharp. I'm gonna go ahead and give it away. You're gonna be cutting these shirts, right? Two more things you need to find in your scavenger hunt around your house. All of these are materials that you should have around your house. No problem, find them in closets, that junk drawer, kitchen recycle bin, whatever. You're gonna want a couple things that are wall-friendly hangers. Now that might be a small little brad nail. It might be some tacks. It might even be just a rubber band. But you're gonna wanna attach these at the end. And the very last thing that will come in handy, but you don't totally need it, is a stapler. So I want you to go and look for these things around your house. You can come back when you're finished. If you get stuck on finding something, don't worry. There's a solution that we will find together, even if you strike out a little bit on one or two of these. It's gonna be fun. Hit pause, and I'll see you in just a minute. And we're back. How did it go? Did you find all the stuff? You might have found them in a closet, in a junk drawer, all kinds of places. You're looking for the things that are unloved, and you're going to find value in them. And that is what we're doing today. We are upcycling. I'm an upcycler. I make found art from found materials. Found art is not the art of perfection. Found art is the art of resourcefulness, of finding quick and novel ways of solving a problem. What we're gonna be doing today is making a craft with these found treasures. Have you figured out what we're gonna make yet? Have you thought about how you might be putting these things together in a creative way? All right, here's the big reveal. You guys ready? We are going to be making, this is a little tricky to get up here. a fantastic flag banner. Yes, this is gonna look awesome over like your bedroom door, bedroom window, down in the living room or kitchen. You can give it to somebody, you can put it outside. And I'm gonna show you how to make one of these basic things today. First, your basic steps that you're gonna be going over are, you're gonna lay the t-shirts out flat. You're gonna use your unfunny shape as I'm gonna set this down. You're gonna use your unfunny shape basically to measure out your flags. Using a Sharpie, you're gonna be tracing those, right? Then you're gonna use your funnier shapes to actually trace these. You're gonna use this as a stencil. The next thing is you'll be using your scissors to cut out the flags. I'm gonna show you all of this in just a minute in detail. And then we're going to assemble. We're gonna be putting those two layers together. And this is where your stapler is gonna really come in handy, just to give yourself a little break. Last, you're gonna hang it. That's what the tacks or nails, whatever you've got. Tape will definitely work as well. So let's get started. All right, so you can take your shirts one at a time. You're gonna lay it out. We're gonna be using the bottom seam, all right? So you do want it like one end to the other end. Do this kind of facing you. So I'm gonna fold it over to make that a little bit easier on us. All right, can you guys see this top seam here though? Perfect. All right, so it's easier if you go ahead and just put both sides together, so top and bottom. Get them nice and flat. Again, guys, there's no wrong way to do this, so please don't worry if you get messed up. And I'm gonna try to go fairly quickly because it is a video. You can pause, go back, put me on 2x speed if you want, but I'm gonna try to make this fairly quickly and yeah, and get started. So again, this is a CD cover, about 6 inches long. I'm gonna start at the very edge over here, and I'm gonna just make, all of these lines are going to be our cuts. These are our cut lines, and they're also gonna tell you where to apply your stencil. You do not want to go over this top stitch along your shirt, all right? And the reason you don't wanna do that is because that's what's gonna hold all your flags together. They're gonna dangle from that top seam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what you're gonna find, dollars to donuts, you're gonna have some leftover space. Now of course, you could like stretch it out, maybe get that one more flag in there, and I think I actually have room because this is like a triple XL shirt. But you're going to end up with this little bit of overage over here, this like 1 inch, 5 inches at the end. That's fine too, because what that's gonna end up being is this little part over here that you attach your banner to. So it's totally normal to have some overage. You want some overage, all right? So these again are the cut lines. Can you guys see those? All right, we're not gonna cut it yet. It's a lot easier to go ahead and do the stencils when they're all laid out like this. Now something important that you do wanna remember, what should I do? Should I do mouse on mane? What are you thinking? That could be cool. I'm gonna go with some straightforward circles. Everyone has a circle in their house. This is from a shower head. And I really like I'm gonna start at the end over here. And you're just gonna trace some circles. Yeah. Every other flag is going to show, because remember, every other flag is going to be this colored t-shirt. You can do this a variety of ways. But I'm gonna just decorate every other flag. One effect that's really nice is if you are doing circles, you can get like a small cap, a medium cap, a larger cap, and it'll start to kind of look like bubbles or something like that. So that's definitely a cool way to go. Now you may also note, you've also got your flags on the back. So remember we went, let's number them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If we went first one, third one, fifth one, on the back side, we're gonna do like the opposite. So we want this second flag. I can kind of see the lines showing through the shirt, but remember, we can also always use our stencil if we wanted to. Be like, okay, the line was about here, about here, about here, about here. Does not need to be exact. If you're going with like an item like this roll of tape or this little figure, you want those definitely centered on your flags. Otherwise, if you're doing something abstract like bubbles or lines, designs, things like that, it's totally okay for them to bleed over between the flags. So again, 1, 3, 5. This is number 6, so I'm going to go to 7. And I'm going to do 9. All right, and then 10 is my last one, so I'm not going to do 10. So I'm just doing the odd ones. We can embellish this as much as you want. So later on, we can fill these in, we can color them in, all that. But I'm trying to just do the demo and as quickly as possible, so this kind of gets the point across. So that's our white t-shirt. Again, I could totally cut this one right now, or I could wait until after we do the blue one. Just since I have this table space, I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and then you'll see me do this again the second time. I'm going to cut this little overage here. All right. Remember, you do not want to cut this top seam. This top seam, or rather the bottom seam of your t-shirt, is what's going to hold the whole thing together. And it's going to hold it together so there's no knots involved, none of that tricky stuff. We're going to go right down along the bottom. There's really no wrong way to do this. Your fabric flags should all be the same size because you've got that same base. And so long as you do that, you will be okay. Again, I'm going to be really careful not to cut that top seam. I'm just leaving that last little inch of fabric hanging on. By the way, if you wanted to simplify this craft and only do it with one t-shirt, or if you only found one old crusty t-shirt at your house, that's okay too. You'll just have one color of t-shirt. If you wanted to add some more color to it, you know, one thing you could do is just use a couple different colors of markers, right? So there's lots of different ways to do this. There are no wrong ways to get crafty. And again, on this very edge piece, check out what happens when I open this up now, right? Like, oh wait, it's a circle. Well, what did we do wrong? We didn't want a circle. It's because those two seams are still attached. So I'm going to cut it on the very edge. And then these two flags here in the middle that are together, that's because that was the edge of our t-shirt, right? So I'm going to need to cut along that seam as well. Okay. And again, if you're like, I want to go play outside or whatever, and this is not interesting you, you can stop now while you're ahead. You already have a really cool fabric banner. Again, you can add more stencils to this, to the front, to the back. You can add different colors if you want, but like you're basically done. You're ready to hang it up. But we're just getting started. We're going to do the same thing to this blue shirt. And so again, I'm going to demonstrate how to do the same technique on the blue shirt. I'm going to do it this time facing myself, which is probably how you're actually going to be cutting. By the way, this white shirt, this like crop top white shirt here, you can actually keep this. It might come in handy for other crafts, right? At ReCraft, all of our crafts use reclaimed material, salvage material that's been rescued from the landfill. And so we really like to find out how we can make the most of the materials we have. I'm doing the same thing right now using this unfunny stencil to just mark out the flags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And check this out at the end. Look, I've got more overage than the other shirt. Again, that's not going to matter. Why? Because that's just going to be those tabs on the end. So I'm going to mark like an X over here. I'm not going to cut that. So again, these are my cut lines. With me? Good. My great-grandmother used to say, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. And it's amazing how resourceful you can be with things in your very own home. Everybody's got things that either they used to really enjoy playing with or using, or maybe they wanted to do something cool with and they never quite got around to it. Those materials are always ripe for like finding a second chance for it. Okay, so I'm not going to mark this up with your funny stencils, right? You can do that. I'm just going to leave it plain for time's sake. but you could decorate this however you wanted to. One of the coolest ways I've seen to do this is to just like put your initials or your name on it. So that can always look really good. All right, so I'm gonna put these together now, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna lay the first one out. Let's just say the colorful one. Let's lay that out along a table. You wanna stretch it all the way out. You wanna make sure it's nice and flat. All right, the next thing you're gonna do is you're actually gonna flip back every other flag, like so. All right, and now we're gonna layer on this guy. All right, and layering this on. My stapler is ready to go and be deployed. Okay, so now it's layered on. All right, and by the way, I actually put, just the way I laid it out, I actually put the circles that I drew on there, I put those face down so that they'll be visible from the back side, right? All right, so now those flags that you flipped up, I'm gonna flip them back. Flip them back. All right. You basically wanna make sure that the two layers of flag are directly above and below each other so they like marry up like slices of bread on a sandwich. Other than that, there's no great secret to this. And then what I like to do, you don't have to do this, but take a stapler and just throw a couple staples in there. By the way, if in case you accidentally cut through that top seam that's holding all these flags together, guess what you can do to stick them back together? That's right. A couple staples, good as new. So there's lots of ways to do this. All right, so now that I've put the layers together, we've got this really cool two-color banner. And what you'll see on the other side is, there you go, there's my design, right? So maybe on these blue ones, I could put my name, I could put like class of 2021, whatever you wanted to do. You can definitely keep drawing. And as you continue to work, I would love to see pictures of your work, both as you're making it and the finished product, maybe hanging up somewhere cool. If you'd like to share those with us, our handle again is @ReCraftGVL on Facebook and Instagram. I want to share one last thing with you guys as I wrap up here. This is one of my favorite little poems. It's called Go Make That Stuff. Draw the art you want to see. Start the club you want to join. Play the music you want to hear. Write the story you want to read. Build the things you want to use. Do the work you want to see done. Thank you to our sponsor, Sphinx. Please enjoy the rest of your visit to Kidsphere, presented by TD Bank, the virtual experience.